dry compost toilets.
Can we just
This
take a
is the
glance?
final product of the composting process. If anyone would like to face themselves and their fears, I invite you to receive an offering.
Okay.
The smell is just
Smells like earth. So usually, it's changing with time. There's a kind of reaction the first time you're starting to process what is in my hands. Maybe, I think people are getting more and more comfortable with it, but there's still this feeling of, oh. Now, I want to invite you to think about that feeling. Think about that reaction. Maybe some people would not feel comfortable to pick up cow poo, but many people would. We have a feeling about ourselves, and we kind of feel that we're something toxic, something other than nature. And this is really reflected in how we process our poo, our urine. What does the sewage system look like? It's the biggest transportation network in the world, using huge amounts of water to, again, send these materials somewhere, big energy input. The final product, something still viewed as waste, something to be buried, emptied in ocean, lakes, rivers, something which is still a problem. Now we understand that every other living species, maybe with the exception of a few animals which we've domesticated and are starting to medicate and treat like people, we understand that the bird flies, eats, poops where it lives, and is contributing positively to the environment it lives in. The snake's doing it. Some cows are doing it, not the ones in big industrial farms. Pigs, chickens. Every living thing, just through its daily activities, is feeding back positively into the systems it depends on. It's closing a loop. This loop has been broken for humans. And it reflects how we view ourselves. When I say that we're something other than nature, it's reflected in our actions. It's not just a theory, it's not an idea. What does the value of our system say? It says we're other than nature. And we feel it too. It reflects our expectations. When we go to a place and build a city, we expect biodiversity to be lost. We expect a few species to be there, crows, rats, maybe a few lizards are lucky, and everything else will be gone. And it's become normal to us. What I'd like to offer is, at least for me, a message of hope. I have news for you. You're natural. You have the same capacity to collaborate with your environment as every other species on this planet. Yes, we have to design systems to do it. We can get sick if we don't manage these systems properly. But I'll tell you, it's not as hard as you think. If you've been around a dry compost toilet system, it's actually really not that hard. It's just a knowledge which is kind of strange and new to us. Something which we're maybe experimenting more with now, getting slowly comfortable with. I would even present that in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, we're gonna get smart. We're gonna understand, it's probably gonna start in some of the more progressive cities of the world. We wanna be on this planet, we have to understand every resource is precious. We can't go around wasting water, wasting nutrients. We're gonna need every resource at our disposal to keep this planet somewhere that we can live and be for generations, for centuries to come. That's gonna mean we close the loop. The other simple action, I said earlier, when you're designing these systems, you design a system to collaborate. What does it mean? It means that just by using the toilet, you eat, you breathe, you drink water, you will make the world around you more rich, more vital, more alive. Now, oftentimes when we're speaking about environmentalism, we're talking about what we can do with our life. We talk about concepts like carbon footprint. For those of you who are familiar with carbon footprint or not familiar, the basic idea is that our life is going to have a certain cost, greenhouse gas emissions, a certain effect on the world. So we should try to reduce this cost as much as possible. There's nothing wrong with this. But again, built into this idea is the inherent concept that we are damaging. we are going to cause damage with our lives. I'm not saying that we won't hurt each other, won't hurt things. What I'm saying is that we also have a positive potential. When you design your life to collaborate with the natural living systems around you, you can say, wow, how much more fertile is the world because I'm here? How many more trees are alive? How many more plant species are present? Bird species, snakes, so on. How much more oxygen is being produced? We don't have to measure our lives in terms of damage. We can measure our lives in terms of the positive effects we're having on the world. It's going to take a shift in thinking. It's going to take a shift in the systems. Those systems are going to have to reflect our values. And how many people identify as environmentalists, want to live sustainably? There is a big movement of people who understand that we have to shift our way of living and being. So we have to ask the question, what is preventing the action? It's going to take the step of saying we have to design the systems to put our values into action. We can't wait for governments to do it for us. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We can take these steps ourselves. I invite all of you to come here, if you like, either to volunteer with us during the day or come and stay with us. You found this to be, I guess if I had an agenda, I spoke earlier, I was thinking about whether I have an agenda or not when you come. It's probably that you come and visit us again. Maybe you stay here. This would be the best thing that you could do. This is something I want more than your money. You have $1 million? No problem, we'll take it. But most people don't. So come, stay here sometime. So I want to thank you all so much. There are so many things that aren't covered during this time, covered during these tours. Luke, who's standing over there, is the other person who often gives these tours, and we always have to make choices about what we talk about and what we don't. For both of us, it's a very precious opportunity. So I really want to say thank you so much for coming, for being here, for being curious about what we're doing. And I hope that you benefit, enjoy, that there's some seed from this experience that you take. I hope it grows and blooms, and I really appreciate your presence here. Thank you.
Thank you.